Hi, my name is Kate Labriola Gorentz, and on today's Dose of Development, I'm going to be talking to you about how to interact with professionals. So first, I'm actually going to start with what not to do. You want to try to not contact professionals or supervisors outside of working hours. If the other party did not suggest a time to talk after work, don't call them or email them after 6 or 7 p.m. unless, of course, it's an emergency or the nature of your job requires you to contact them at night. Next, try to leave personal accounts alone. Don't contact them through their personal email, their cell phone, or Facebook or Instagram, especially when it's related to work. You can, however, definitely use their work phones, their work emails, or even LinkedIn is an appropriate way to contact. When doing so, also try to keep punctuations and emojis to a minimum. There's nothing more frustrating than getting an email from somebody that you don't really know and having 5 exclamation points at the end of a sentence. Also try not to send multiple emails or call multiple times if they don't respond right away. Give them a little leeway and wait for them to reply to you, and try again the next day or even the next week if you have time to wait. If they say no, don't push it. If they decline you, it's not an opportunity for you to rephrase the same question and ask it again. The answer will still be no. Instead, give them time to mull it over, present the issue again at a later date. Regardless, thank them for their time. Don't backtrack. Plan what you're going to say and offer it thoughtfully and carefully. Don't say something, then backtrack and change your words. It's always better to start the relationship off slow because you can then decide how you want to progress based on the results you're seeing. And of course, don't waste their time. Their time is very valuable, so is yours. So carefully pick what kind of communication works best. Rule of thumb, generally emails are less disruptive, so if you can convey your message clearly through that format, opt for that option. Some general tips. Make sure that your communication skills are on point. Both verbal and written communication is key in interactions with professionals. Make sure that you're speaking clearly, that you're not using upspeak or slang. Treat everybody that you're interacting with respect. Ask questions and then sit back and listen more than you speak. Remember that the people that you're interacting with have been in the field longer than you at this point, one would imagine, will be able to provide some insight. Go in with confidence, use appropriate body language, have some empathy, be positive throughout the interaction, and make sure that you've walked away with something new that you have learned. Next, we're going to talk about how to address bosses or supervisors. So, an easy way to figure out what you need to do is see what your colleagues are doing. Pay attention to what your coworkers are saying. Know that there are limitations. In some organizations, it might mean only a few can call the boss by their first name. Listen to how most of the long-term employees address the boss. For example, if the employees are referring to the boss as Bill, Mr., Sir, or boss, you can probably guess that you can do the same. Know the environment that you're in. If you're in a new startup type of organization where everybody is in jeans and t-shirts day in and day out and it's a little bit more relaxed, you can probably assume that it is a first name company. An example of an established law firm that has multiple generations that have gone through the ranks, you probably want to be a little bit more formal in how you address people in that space. When in doubt, ask the executive assistant what the boss would like to be called. They'll point you in the right direction every single time. How to ask uncomfortable questions. So, you want a raise. That's great. You probably deserve it and feel like you have put in the work to do so. Instead of going in and asking why you haven't had a raise yet, probably a better way to reframe it would be to go in and say, we had previously discussed the option of getting a raise. Is there something I need to be doing differently in order to make that happen? You're still getting your point across that you do want the raise. You're also showing that you are willing to put in the work in order to achieve it. When asking to work from home, try saying something like, I see a lot of benefits to telecommuting for the company, such as cost saving and time. And then back it up with researched examples of how you plan to apply those things to working from home. Asking to expense certain items. It's better to ask ahead of time than going and traveling for an organization that you're with and finding out later that you weren't able to expense certain items. Try saying, I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Is it okay to expense alcohol, meals, rooms, gifts, whatever the item might be? And who should I talk with to make sure I do this correctly, consistently while I travel? The last difficult conversation to have with professionals is salary negotiation. So 3 important keys: build your case, face some resistance, and strike a balance between firm and flexible. We'll dive into what this really means. Negotiating perks will help you, especially as you're starting off your career. University tuition reimbursement is highly appealing if you wish to continue your education. Training and professional development, mentoring and coaching, childcare options, healthcare and fitness, and flexibility, the ability to work from home, work while traveling, working on different schedules. These are all added perks that can be discussed during salary negotiation if a dollar value cannot be applied. Define your range, do some online research, know what you're worth. Research will also include the type of job that you are looking to do, the years of experience you have under your belt, and also the geographic location. Have that ballpark figure. Typically, having it in a range is best, and then go in and ask. Don't sell yourself short either when you do this. Practice your pitch at least once before the actual negotiation. Be gracious. Be confident in your delivery, avoid accepting the first offer, and understand your leverage. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always set up an appointment through Handshake to discuss any of these topics with the career development team. Thank you.